What's good? It's your boy Fanon. I'm going to talk about the absolute hottest topic in boxing again today, and it has been so fun this month of March with the heavyweights, the fights that took place between Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, Anthony Johnson, Joseph Parker. You know, the March Madness of boxing, of heavyweight boxing, in a very unofficial and may never be concluded tournament to see who the best fighter in the world is. And it's been tremendously fun just because, you get to have a lot of fun with the comments that get left. I know there's some people that think that, like Anthony Joshua, they get real hot at the videos that I make. You got other people that are supportive of Deontay Wilder. So, this is a lot of ways this is what boxing's about. A lot of back and forth, a lot of who's the best, who's this, who's that. The reason why you have boxing conversations to begin with, man. Boxing's it's a mano-a-mano sport, and at the end of the day, you never know who's going to win until the two people get in the ring with one another. But today, I'm going to talk about a couple things that came out yesterday and today. One was Wilder's manager saying that Shelly Finkel, saying that they would happily accept the terms of that Joshua had mentioned in interviews, right? And then the other was something that Deontay Wilder said about Anthony Joshua and saying, hey man, if this guy was his own boss, this fight could have been made, and really saying that he thinks that it's Eddie Hearn, who stands in the way. And then also I'm going to talk a little bit about Alexander Povetkin and Dillion White and a little bit of the hypocrisy going on with people who get on Deontay Wilder's back about it, man. I'm kind of surprised at the inconsistency, the blatant inconsistency. Now that said, definitely going to do a live stream later today. We have a lot of fun on the live stream. Very mature crowd for the most part. Had a little bug in the last live stream. I made a mistake and let somebody moderate that really showed their behind. But it was, hey man, it's an experience. You live and you learn. However, we usually have very, very good live streams, free of drama, and with mature boxing fans, we talk about a variety of different subjects. So I hope that you accept my invite to the live stream. And the best way to do that and be notified of it is to hit the subscribe and the bell icon. And when you do that, you'll get notified when the live streams begin, and then we can have that real time interaction, man. And it doesn't just have to be the subject of that's in the title. You can always ask whatever type of question that you want, and myself and other people in the comment section, very knowledgeable fans in the comment section, will no doubt reply to the question and hear your viewpoints on the things that we discuss. So that said, let me go to this article yesterday where Shelly Finkel talked about this fight, and it was written by Marcus Williams, and it came courtesy of the Daily Star. Deontay Wilder has accepted Anthony Joshua's challenge and is ready to take him on at Wembley this summer. That, according to Wilder's co-manager Shelly Finkel, who has confirmed a blockbuster heavyweight unification bout is edging closer. Joshua beat Joseph Parker in Cardiff on Saturday with a dominant points win to add the WBO strap to his IBF, WBA, and IBO titles. AJ called out Wilder after the victory in Wales and could now become the undisputed champion of the showpiece division if he adds Wilder's WBC belt to his collection. And it seems a blockbuster bout is close to being agreed. Finkel has confirmed that Wilder would accept a 60-40 split for the fight purse. There are also talks underway to arrange a two-fight scenario with Wembley Stadium and Las Vegas or New York hosting each meeting. Finkel told Garth Davies of The Telegraph, "We are really glad that Anthony Joshua said for the first time, I will fight Deontay next. And we believe he is a man of his word. Deontay accepts the challenge. We want to make it public that Deontay wants the fight, and we are prepared to come over or meet here and get the deal done. Deontay is ready to sign and come to the UK to fight this summer. We're ready. We're ready. Let's do it. And anyway, unification fights always trump mandatory. A unification between Wilder and Joshua would push the mandatories back. Assuming it will be in Wembley Stadium this summer, we are ready. And if they are ready, as they say they are, we want to get it done. We want the fight. They want the fight. The public wants the fight. There's nothing to stop it going ahead. Joshua taunted Wilder after his win over Parker and insisted their mega money fight would happen soon. The British superstar said, "Does he need more than I need him? Does he need me more than I need him? Yes. Without being big-headed, it's 100%. He needs British boxing. He's bigger here than he is in the States because of us." And you look at him and ask him, does he really want it? I've got no issue fighting anyone. If you look through my record from my 21 fights, there hasn't been an issue with fighting anyone. There is no fear. It has to happen soon. And that is a great thing to say. Now, what did, in this article that came out also, Deontay Wilder brings up his concern that Eddie Hearn might be the person that's holding up this fight. And this is an article by Keith Idec. Deontay Wilder wants boxing fans to know he understands their frustrations. Wilder realizes they're growing tired of reading and hearing about the huge heavyweight fight everyone wants to see. Wilder against Joshua. The unbeaten WBC champion knows they want Wilder-Joshua to happen next. Not 2 or 3 fights down the dangerous road on which one of them could get knocked off and ruin the biggest bout in the sport that hasn't been made. Wilder hopes Joshua is serious when he said, following his victory over Joseph Parker on Saturday night, that he wants Wilder next. The Tuscaloosa, Alabama native just isn't sure Joshua and his promoter, Eddie Hearn, are as interested in him in making their much-discussed showdown a reality anytime soon. "I'm going to make my money regardless," Wilder told BoxingScene.com. "My family's going to eat regardless. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, if this fight don't never be made, the world will know why it wasn't made. It won't be because of Deontay Wilder. It will be because of Anthony Joshua and his team. I'm my own boss. I say who I want to fight. He's not his own boss. What is he doing? If he was his own boss, he could make the decision and let everybody else speak for him. I say I want it. Why can't he do the same? People are getting tired, man, and I'm just going to wash my hands of this situation. I'm going to let it happen. I'm going to let the people, let the fans, let the reporters, I'm going to let everybody that's dealing with the bout come out and smoke them out from there." Joshua revealed after defeating Parker by unanimous decision that he wants to travel to the United States to have a serious discussion about boxing Wilder next with Wilder's advisor Al Heyman, Wilder's co-manager Shelley Finkel, Barry Hearn, Eddie's father, and the founder of Matchroom Boxing. Also told BBC Radio on Sunday that he'll begin discussions with Wilder's team this week. The 32-year-old Wilder would make a career-high 8-figure purse for facing the 28-year-old Joshua, who reportedly earned an $18 million guarantee for fighting New Zealand's Parker. Eddie Hearn has also discussed Joshua boxing American Jarrell Miller or Russia's Alexander Povetkin next. Miller would need to defeat France's Johann Duhaupas on April 28th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn to have a chance to become the foe for Joshua's debut in the United States sometime in August. Also at the Barclays Center, Povetkin is a mandatory challenger for Joshua's WBA heavyweight title. Wilder would travel to the UK to fight Joshua, who has become a huge star there. Joshua said Saturday night that he would listen to if an offer to battle Wilder in the United States was worth more than a fight that would undoubtedly draw an enormous crowd in the UK. We're not chasing nobody, Wilder said. We're not going to be running down nobody because it's not supposed to be this way. He's a champion, I'm a champion, and the best are supposed to fight the best. It shouldn't be this hard. They're being so childish and they're making people lose interest in the sport because of these same tactics. We've seen these things before where people stall out fights and try to make it bigger and better. No, this fight is worth everything right now. It's ready to go right now. The hype is on it right now. That's all people talk about every day. This fight now. And all these stalling tactics, it's enough. I'm ready. There's no denying that I want the fight. You know I want it. I've been saying it. I've been stressing that. I just need them to accept this fight, accept the terms, give us a location and the date, and we're there. So that is a whole lot of way to say, man, who knows when this damn fight is going to happen? So when Anthony Joshua says, and I think that Anthony Joshua is right, first of all, Deontay Wilder might be bigger in the UK, relatively speaking, than he is in the United States. I don't doubt that because it seems like he's pretty big in the UK. And in the United States, we got a lot of waffling fans. And we don't really have the interest in boxing at the level that there's interest in boxing in the UK. That is a guarantee. I mean, if to argue otherwise would just be, you just be arguing to make an argument. That's the fan interest for Anthony Joshua is very large in the UK. Whether or not Eddie Hearn really wants to make the fight money or not is something else. And I just don't get the feeling that Eddie Hearn really wants this fight to happen. Personally, I don't know who would win this fight. You have Anthony Joshua, who's a technically sound boxer, he's very strong. He thinks very well. He makes good adjustments in the ring. From everything that I can see of Anthony Joshua is a top-notch heavyweight. You have Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is more athletic. He's more relies on his natural athletic abilities and his tremendous punching power to get guys out of there. There's been fights where I've watched fights where I've thought that Deontay Wilder was down on the cards to fighters who I don't believe are as high a level of boxer as Anthony Joshua is. However, they all wound up getting knocked out because in boxing, power is the great equalizer. And there are plenty of situations where you have somebody that gets in a ring with a better boxer, but because they know that they can knock the guy out, they win the fight because they make another guy go to sleep, give him a quick concussion, into the fight. So I don't know which way this fight would go. I don't know which way if it would go for Deontay Wilder. I'm not one of these guys, and there are plenty of people who believe it, that Anthony Joshua is tailor-made for Deontay Wilder. I can't say that. I never claim that my expertise or that I'm gonna know, or I'm some clairvoyant or Nostradamus and I can predict the future of what happens in the ring. Especially when you get a guy like Deontay Wilder in the ring. Period. Nobody's gonna bet their house on somebody beating Deontay Wilder because you know dang well that at any moment he can flip your light switch off. Also, Anthony Joshua. I'm not going to bet my house on anybody beating Anthony Joshua. He didn't accidentally get a gold medal, and he didn't accidentally get 3 of the major championship belts. Now, I don't think that I've said this before, that, you got to be the man. You got to beat the man to be the man. And as far as those 3 belts go, Tyson Fury is there. Tyson Fury is the guy that had those belts. So, I can put a little grain of salt on it, but at the same time, I'm not going to act like Anthony Joshua doesn't know how to fight and this is just easy money. However, it's highly risky for Deontay Wilder And it's highly risky for Anthony Joshua. And when you see things where Anthony Joshua says, you know, he needs me that more than I need him, that's telling you Anthony Joshua saying, well, you know, I don't really need him that bad. But the question isn't whether or not he needs him. There's been plenty of boxers that didn't need another boxer. At a certain point in time, Floyd Mayweather didn't need any other boxer. The question was, anymore, he needs a boxer. He needs somebody in the ring with him. That's for sure. But the degree of need, Floyd Mayweather Jr. never really, at a certain point, he didn't really need anybody. But the question was, does he want him? Does he want the WBC belt? And how does he want the WBC belt? If he wants the WBC belt, and I've said this in other videos, does he want the WBC belt off of Deontay Wilder? Or does he want to follow what I believe is Eddie Hearn's motive, and is to wait for somebody else to beat Deontay Wilder and then fight that guy? So you have a situation where you have Dillion White, right? Dillion White is the guy, is like the Eddie Hearn's designated Anthony Joshua bodyguard, where he wants him to fight Deontay Wilder, put him in position to get the WBC belt. And that's right. Hey, man, hey, I have no beef whatsoever with Dillion White. Dillion White's the number one guy, is the number one position at the WBC. He did what was necessary to get that. Right. And here is the part that I was talking about with a little bit of the, you know, let's be fair here, right? Or let's at least try to call it down the middle, right? Call it down the middle. Deontay Wilder says, nah, I'm not in any hurry to fight Dillion White because I don't really want Dillion White. I want Anthony Joshua. And everybody's saying that my man is ducking up a storm, right? He's ducking up a storm. He's ducking Dillion White. Now, I got to tell you that I think Dillion White I think Dillion White's looking like, stylistically, he's looking like he could give, you know, it would be a fun fight to watch while it lasts. He's got a good jab. He's got long arms. He's definitely got a lot of heart because the dude wants to get in the ring, and he wants to get in the ring with anybody, right? But then you have Dillion White on the other side. Deontay Wilder offers Dillion White a fight and says, yeah, man, I'll fight you. You don't even have to worry about it. I'll do it as a voluntary. Just fight Luis Ortiz first. And then Dillion White's reaction is, I want Alexander Povetkin. He immediately switches over there to Alexander Povetkin. Now, if Alexander Povetkin, I do believe, I'd have to check whether or not what the position is with Alexander Povetkin, but I think Alexander Povetkin doesn't want to face Dillion White because he feels like he's already dealt with with the fight with Eddie Hearn putting somebody in front of him in Price. So he knocked that one out, but he doesn't want a deal. Now he's like, no, I don't want Dillion White. What I want Anthony Joshua. First of all, I don't know how in the world Price gets a shot at any type of title. However, you know, money does some funny things, man. This dude should probably be banned for life, but let's be fair with it. Let's be fair, right? Personally, I don't use that word. I think you should share your opinion. However, hey, if what's good for the goose is what's good for the gander, man. Looks like Alexander Povetkin is ducking Dillion White, right? Because he wants to go straight, because he doesn't want to fight the guy that Eddie Hearn wants to put in front of him, you know, to kind of slow the roll. Give him a couple more fights with Anthony Joshua. But, you know, it is what it is, man. I'm hoping that what they're saying is true, right? First of all, I don't know, but I do believe that Deontay Wilder's telling the truth. Shelly Finkel's telling the truth. As far as these terms being accepted, you know, I'm a little bit of a stickler for the language of it. You can't accept terms that aren't formally offered. You know what I mean? You're willing to accept them. That's pretty much what he said. That article is. It's like, we're willing to accept the UK and we'll see where most of the money is. I'm already on record saying that I think regardless, there's more money in the United States than there is in the UK. But I also do find real funny that Anthony Joshua would consider fighting Jarrell Miller in the Barclays Center. Why would he come to the Barclays Center for Jarrell Miller if there's so much more money in the UK for the Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua fight? You know what I mean? Why would it make sense to come to the UK for Jarrell Miller, but not make sense to come to the United States for Deontay Wilder? But hey man, inquiring minds want to know, and I'm out. Peace.